Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Amelia and Jordan Unleashed. And we're joined here today with Charlie.
Hello.
Hi Charlie.
Hi, nice to be on here. I'm very excited.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
So how do you know Jordan?
So I didn't know I knew Jordan until very recently. It turns out both Amber, who works for you, used to work with me at Red Lodge. And also Jordan is married to a friend of my sister's, which is very exciting. I know. Small little world.
Yeah, it is such a small world. I remember Alika saying that you worked with animals.
Mm.
For some reason I just didn't pay much attention, but I've always heard about your dog through Scott.
They exchanged so many dog stories. So it's the same with like Riley. I've heard so many stories about Riley.
Oh,
Didn't put like 2 and 2 together. Again, I think Scott and Alika are besotted with him, which is adorable.
They are very good aunties
Riley.
and uncles. Yeah.
Aww.
They do baby him. It's very sweet.
It's so cute.
And what's Red Lodge?
So Red Lodge is our daycare and boarding at Wootton Bassett. So we run that alongside a daycare over at Chippenham called Fern Farm as well. So things are fun and chaotic at all times.
Wow.
So yeah, Red Lodge kind of is our kind of where I started as far as daycare goes. So I've been there for about 4 years. Started as Lucy Pet Carer. People might have heard it from that. And then my boss, Sam, took it over about 2 years ago, rebranded to Red Lodge, had lots and lots of changes, lots of positive stuff, but yeah, really good fun. Yeah, really good.
So how many dogs do you kind of see day to day?
So anywhere between about 35 and 60 probably is our kind of range. So that is both like boarding dogs. So we have 15 kind of state-of-the-art boarding kennels. They're really nice. So they're like little rooms rather than proper kind of traditional kennels. They've all got like proper little lockable front doors. They've got underfloor heating. They're really cute little rooms. Those dogs all join in with our daycare dogs. So we have specifically a membership system. So the same dogs will come in on the same days each week, which is really nice. It builds really good friendships. And then the boarding dogs will go in on top of that. So we get, about 30, 35 kind of daycare dogs and then boarding on top of that. So coming into the summer is particularly chaotic. It's been nice. So people are going on holiday and it's getting nice and busy, which is good fun.
Always good fun. Do you have like different places where different, not styles of dog, but I guess different personalities go, or do they all just go into one area and...
So we're quite specific. So we run different energy levels. So even rather than just kind of sizes, we have like our Highlandry dogs, tends to be a bigger kind of Vizslas, Labradors. They're more boisterous players. We do have some tiny little Spaniels and Cockapoos who think they're big dogs and like to join in with that chaos. So they kind of go in their own play area. We have 2 groups that run. So they come out for an hour and a half's play. The other group are resting for that hour and a half and then they keep swapping over. Otherwise, we get like tired toddlers by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody needs their rest time. And then we run a medium group, so they're like a little bit quieter, tends to be more kind of Spaniels, Cockapoos. So you might have a little bit of play, actually enjoy a little bit more sniffing, a little bit more cuddle time. Then we have our low energy guys, so that tends to be like your older dogs. We've got a few little, like a little old Weimaraner, a little Labrador, tends to be a little Dachshunds. So not so much kind of like boisterous play, but more want to spend time with people and I like to be around dogs. We do lots of like treat finding and sniff finding games and stuff with them, so it's very much tailored to the individual dog. It's been nice when introducing some puppies recently. So this year we started puppy school. So that's for anyone under 18 months. All the dogs kind of enroll into puppy school. They get a little monthly update, a little like report card every month, tell them what they're learning, what they've been doing. But it means we can offer them that support while they're kind of learning how to socialise politely. It means we can kind of switch up their play friends, switch up the areas they're in, give them that more kind of one-on-one support where they need it. It's been really, really good, really exciting.
So cute.
That's a really good idea. And I like how you do it up to 18 months as well, because so many people go, I just need puppy class till 6 months.
Yeah.
But to do it till they're actually going into adulthood is a really nice idea.
Also, a lot of people, like, they know about socialising their puppy, but maybe not knowing how to, so not knowing like the boundaries or when that play might need to stop because it's getting a little bit too much, or a growl. It's good to set boundaries, but then it could turn into something else. And I think you can almost go too far with it, can't you?
Yeah.
So it's quite nice that there's 18 months of someone else doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important. So you get some puppies come in and they're like confident, they love everybody, but maybe they settle in quite nicely and they understand how to read dogs. You get some coming in at like 15 weeks and they're superstars and they're really easy forever and ever and ever. We do have a neutering policy, so we ask for all male dogs to be either physically or chemically neutered by 18 months because we tend to see issues with other dogs and entires kind of after that age.
Yeah.
But it's really good. We can then get some puppies that come in maybe a little bit nervous. They just kind of work to like one or two friends, keep the same handler, build up those relationships slowly. It's been really nice we can work on that as well. And then you get some that come in and are maybe the boisterous troublemakers. So need that little bit more support, like say, to learn kind of polite manners.
Yeah.
So we're so lucky with our daycare dogs. We've got such a range of characters that some are, will do the submissive, I don't know how to cope with this. And actually them not running around or anything means that dog gets bored really quickly. So sometimes that's a really good training tool. You get some that tell off politely, so we'll use those. We never put a dog in a situation that's uncomfortable for them. So that's the other thing is we're really careful of, is that our kind of current daycare dogs aren't put in a situation where they're in danger or that they're put kind of too far into being uncomfortable in that situation.
Yeah.
So it's all really closely managed. Like I say, the play styles are really closely managed. Sometimes you get some interesting play, which is always good fun. You get all like the hackles and the growls. You have to work out if we're still enjoying it or not, which for learning is fantastic, both for kind of the dogs and for our handlers as well. It's been amazing, actually. Been really lucky.
God, it sounds really fun.
That does sound fun. I want to sign Riley up.
Yeah.
That sounds like great fun.
It is really good. And we're lucky we get lots of work experience come through as well. So it's nice that kind of both we're teaching dogs all the time, but actually we're teaching really cool humans. So everyone from kind of like 16 years old. We tend to take those that are doing kind of animal care at college. But it means they come in again the same day every week. They come and do different hours, see how a kennels runs, get to learn dog behaviour, how to do medications. They get thrown into everything with support, but thrown into everything. I think it's a fantastic way to learn. We've developed some really cool young humans from that. It's been really nice.
Yeah, that is really, really nice. I think also you learn the basics. Like, a tail wag means happy and heckles up means angry, or lying down and showing your belly is submissive, but maybe not learning, what scenarios, like where those behaviours can go or what's going to trigger those kind of things. It's quite good to watch it kind of all play out and then you all learn from that. Yeah,
absolutely. And we've got CCTV all over site. So again, that's a really useful training tool to be like, okay, maybe the situation got taken too far. What happened? Let's all learn from that. We don't want to put dogs in that situation unnecessarily, but actually if we can use that as a training aid, it's been, fantastic. Really good.
That's really cool. Do you know Nairobi was in the Shy group play school?
I find that mad because I've seen that dog.
She's
and seen her play. She's very confident, isn't she?
Yeah.
I remember the first time she met Riley, she literally he was small. He was like, 2.5, 3 months old. And she bounded up to him and he was so excited to see her, and literally she just flipped him over onto his back, pinned him, but like in a really sweet, playful way. And he just loved it, and every time he sees her, he waits for it. And he's like 10 kilograms bigger than her now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny because she now will only play with other dogs that she's known since a puppy.
Oh, okay.
So she wouldn't go up to a new dog, even if they were trying to play with her, she'd probably just ignore it.
Aww.
So it really is just dogs that she's known for a long time. I mean, she's only 3. But I find that quite interesting, and watching her get older, she's now not really that interested in other dogs unless she already knows them, which means she's just got her own friends and she doesn't want to make any more, I guess.
Oh, that's really nice though. And you might find she gets some dogs where she's like just happy to hang out. We don't need to do the play stuff. We can just wander around together and we're respectful of each other. But that's awesome. That's a really good balanced dog to be like that. Yeah. That's awesome.
I hope so.
That is lucky, because you're quite lucky. If you see a dog in the distance, you know that Roby, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, will just walk past them.
Yeah.
But like with Riley, I'm like, he will definitely try and say hello.
I wonder if it's a boy thing. Do you find that?
It's more a girl thing.
Ooh, there's a good question. When they're younger, tends to be the boys that are a bit more boisterous, a little bit more like want to see everything. As they get older, I don't know, it's probably like 50-50. We get some girls that are like, yeah, love everybody, want to be in it all. And some that are like, no, I'll just wander with you, not that interested. We've got lots of lurchers that like to just sunbathe. They'll just like let everyone play around them. They're just like, nope, not interested. I'll go for a run for 5 minutes and then I'm just done. It's a great mix, actually. Really cool.
That sounds good. Do you have to do like assessments for any dogs you take in for kennels or for boarding?
Yeah, so we assess everybody in the same way. So they all come in for a 90-minute to start with. So we spend an hour getting used to like us, getting used to the surroundings. We start introducing dogs one at a time just to see how they cope with kind of that situation. Hopefully end up in our full play group at that point, and then they'll do a half-hour kennel test just to see again kind of roughly how they settle, get an idea. Yeah. They then come in and do 4-hour sessions. So they'll do kind of half an hour in group. They'll do an hour kind of in the kennel, see how they're getting on, another kind of playtime, and then back in the kennel. So it just gives them a good kind of idea of how they're going to cope with this. They then do a full daycare day, so between kind of 7:30 and 6. So again, they get thrown into everything that's going on during the day just to see how they get on, and then they'll all do a boarding night before we book in any kind of boarding stays as well. We used to just do like a 90-minute and then it was like, no, come in for as long as you want, but actually it can be really detrimental to the dogs where they kind of like start settling in. We start seeing like maybe fun or challenging behaviours and actually maybe a little bit stressful for the dogs, whereas having this kind of longer trial process has been really beneficial for them. I think for them it's been really good, and also for owners because they kind of get that reassurance that the dog is okay, is having a good time. That's been really important as well. Yeah, been really good.
Do you find it's quite hard, like owners have a misconception of kennels now?
I think sometimes. So we've been quite keen this year, especially. We've done lots of open days. So kind of once a month, once every 2 months, we do a tour on a weekend. So we have a little bit of break time on a weekend. So the dogs go away. It means we can bring kind of owners around to come and have a look. Yeah. And I think that's been really beneficial. Because a lot of, especially our older owners, were like, oh, we don't really know what happens. We just hand you our dog and then they're gone for the day. And maybe we get a couple of photos. But that's it. Actually, it's been really good kind of opening that conversation. This is what happens. This is where your dogs are. This is our process through the day. Actually come and see the size of things. Because we've got 2 massive fields that dogs get to run around, along with kind of inside areas, astroturf areas. Actually, come and have a look. Come and see why things kind of happen in certain ways. We've got different kennel layouts. So we have like our boarding kennel set up, which tends to be kind of for our quieter dogs. Up on like our high energy area, we've got both like wooden kennels and also like metal barred kennels, so proper like what you call proper kennels. And owners used to worry if they were in there, were they naughty, because they're a little bit further away from the playtime. Whereas actually it's that those dogs don't tend to settle. If they're kind of in around the play, they're worried about they're kind of missing out. Yeah. Whereas actually kind of explaining more to owners and being more open about it's been really beneficial. It's been really nice to see.
I bet, because I do feel like lots of people now, they think, oh, I want someone to come to my house and stay there, but actually, if you're going away for a while and your dogs are being looked after by people that really know dogs, like that makes quite a big difference. Yeah. They're having fun. It's almost like you want it to be like a little holiday for them, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
It all sounds really nice.
It's really good also. We've got a really good relationship with some local home boarders. So not all dogs will cope well in kennels. Some just like they shut away and they panic. Actually, it's been really nice building up those relationships because some dogs do benefit more from that situation. And actually how as small businesses can we all work together? It's been, really, really cool.
To do the best thing for each dog.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a competition. We all work so differently. We've got some local boarding kennels that we recommend sometimes if they can't mix in the big group because it's too much for them. Actually, is that more beneficial? They get more one-on-one time. How can we create that community? It's been really important. It's really good.
That's so nice. How long have you worked with dogs?
So I worked at a rescue from 2018 to 2021 when I started at Red Lodge, which is interesting. It's very different to what I do now, but really cool.
Which, are you allowed to say which rescue?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. So I worked at Bath Cats and Dogs Home. Yeah. Really a really cool, great learning environment again. Obviously quite kind of traumatic sometimes. So both my dog and my mother-in-law's dog came from there, which has been fantastic. It's been really good for kind of all of us, which has been really cool. Really, really interesting how different it is working with dogs in that situation compared to dogs in daycare. Kind of really loved family dogs. Before that, I kind of worked in retail for a little while. But when I was younger, my mum used to have a pet care business. So we used to look after like small dogs. We go dog walking, kind of a bit pet sitting and stuff. So animals have always been like a big part of my life, which has been really nice.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And what do you think, like, so in Bath Cats and Dogs Home, I guess they're also in kennels, but they're coming from, where do they actually rescue dogs from?
Ooh,
is it like a wide, are they coming from abroad, or are they all UK?
all
hound
UK.
dogs?
So you get kind of street dogs or like stray dogs will be picked up by dog warden. They come in. You get some kind of handovers. So that might be their circumstances have changed, they're moving, financial. Dogs might get handed over in that sense. You would occasionally get kind of case dogs, so ones that the RSPCA are investigating for neglect or something like that. And you'd care for them. Normally that's quite far away from where the case is happening, so there's no kind of risk of that case being interrupted. And they tend to be obviously the kind of the saddest cases that you're looking after. But a whole range of everything from there's a new baby at home and the dog's not getting on with it, to moving house, we can't afford to look after them anymore. You get a few that would be dumped on your front door, where people we had a few with just like notes pinned to like the lamppost outside to say, sorry, I can't have this anymore.
And do you feel like they did that because there's a lot of shame in giving?
I think so. I think like any kennels, they're always incredibly busy, so they end up with like a wait list for people that need to hand them over. And I think a lot of the time that just became too much for people. It really hard, I can't imagine it's ever an easy decision for anybody. Dogs are such an important part of our lives, whatever's kind of going on. So I can't imagine it's ever easy for anybody. But yeah, we used to get a few kind of like that, which is very sad. I know. But yeah, we got all sorts of range. So Bowie, my mother-in-law's little collie, he came in at 9 weeks old. He had been bought by a really young couple who a few days in turned around and went, we weren't expecting this to be so difficult. We can't look after him anymore.
A weekend.
A weekend. So he came into kennels, came on foster with me the next day and then never left, which has been awesome. It's been really interesting co-parenting him. So he's about 4.5 now. Fantastic. His name is Bowie. He's got heterochromia. So he came with the name, which is adorable. And then we've got Bungle. So my rescue dog, he came in from a house with 7 adult dogs and 10 puppies. They were just left kind of in a room together with a little bit of garden space. So he is terrified of life. It's been a mission to get him used to some things. So he was about 4 when he was rescued. He's about 10 now, but it's very much kind of, he's very traumatised from kind of what happened before. He's very untrusting of people, with dogs and stuff. So yeah, it's been very interesting kind of working through that.
Do you know much about if he was handled much by people, or do you think it literally was they had a room, a little patch of grass and food was occasionally thrown in? Or
So really interesting. So 4 of the adults came in as strays. They were picked up kind of in the local area. And then the RSPCA had gone to kind of the house that they'd come from and found kind of the mess that was there. There was lots of kind of unfair breeding of the collies that were in there. So we had a few like deaf-blind puppies and things like that were in there. But it was very much like tiny environment, never left that house, didn't see anything apart from the people that were there. So it's kind of, I suppose at 4 years old, kind of getting used to everything that's a normal household, a normal life is probably terrifying.
And also not being with those other dogs, I guess, that you've been with.
Yeah, so very weird. I mean, we've worked through lots of guarding issues, so I'm guessing they were kind of fighting over food and stuff, kind of at the time. But I think for him going from a house full of dogs and understanding that social hierarchy to not seeing any when he came home, really, I think was quite a shock to him. So we kind of worked through lots of reactivity with that, just 'cause I think there's been so much change there.
Yeah. And he's a collie as well?
He's a collie husky shepherd cross.
Wow.
Very beautiful. Looks like a collie-sized husky. Is gorgeous, but comes with all of the anxiety and everything that all those breeds would bring.
Usually have.
Yeah, very clever, anxious, big lovable goofball.
Oh, bless him.
Did you know when you saw him? Did you go, "That's my dog"?
We did. So really weird scenario. So we lost our shepherd in the August. These dogs came in about a week later. We fostered one of the puppies. Bungle got rehomed because we weren't quite ready at that time. Bungle got rehomed the puppy, and then he came back. about a week after we rehomed the puppy, and it was like, okay, cool, that is decision made. He's got to come home now. So my husband Andy came up for a couple of visits, got used to him, bonded really quickly, and then they came home and that was it.
It must be so hard. Like I remember when I like in kennels, like not setting yourself up to be like, I'm gonna take this dog home, I'm gonna take that dog home.
Yeah.
Like it's heartbreaking, and you get so like up in your head of that's the perfect dog for me.
Yes.
It's so cute. Like honestly,
So
you walk
many
through,
times.
you're like, oh my god, I need this dog.
Oh my gosh. It must be really hard, especially if it takes them a while to get rehomed. Or you know that there's quite a lot of trauma there that those people are going to have to work through. Because I don't know how it really works when you're trying to find their next home, but how do you, because you have to vet people. And there's quite a few questions that you ask. I know a lot of people find it really difficult to rescue for different reasons, like not having a garden, or one lady's like, I'm over 80 and she doesn't think she'll be able to rescue a dog. But valid questions that you have to ask, but then it's all like the things that you're having to work through, and you've got extensive knowledge about training and what those behaviours might mean. How would the average person work through something like that? Is there like good support? Do they have to kind of work it all out by themselves?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know how things work exactly now. When I was there, they had a really good behaviour team. So it's a case of, we'll give you all the information for everything that we've seen, everything that we know of, all the training that we've done so far with this dog. And then if you need something, you're welcome to call us. We can talk through things. If you need kind of external behaviour help, we can do recommendations. So they'd kind of look at your local area, look into trainers and things for you. So support was definitely good. I think it's difficult because there's so much push now for adopt, don't shop, which I think is fantastic. I think it's awesome. But I think sometimes it gives people a misconception that it's so easy to rescue easy dogs.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing that we had. So kind of working there just before COVID, really interesting because there was a very different setup with people. It was people were picky, they'd understand what was kind of they were taking on. They had, I have to invest lots of time into this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Watching kind of the shift over COVID was really interesting because people were like, no, I just want a dog. I don't care what I have to put into it. I might not bother putting into it. I just want a dog at home. Yeah. And it's a really interesting shift. And kind of, sad. I suppose lots of people do get disheartened by it because there aren't very many dogs that are kind of easy as such in rescue. They're normally given up for a reason. You do get some that are, an old person's dog, they passed away, has come in and hopefully gets rehomed to a lovely, nice little old person. And that's...
But even then, they could be completely unsocialised because they've been with an old person that's just stayed at home the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, never left the house.
Yeah.
They might bite other people because they're so used to their one person. Like, it's so hard. And I think there's maybe not as much information as there should be for people looking to rescue. I do think it's difficult.
Yeah, and I agree that there is this huge movement for adopt, don't shop, which is great because you need homes for those dogs, but also breeding dogs is also really good because you know what you're going to get. It can fit in with your lifestyle a lot easier. Certain breeds do have different traits which all should be thought about, and you can kind of bring them up to be the dog that you need and want, which is also great. And also having those standards in place so that breeds are kind of kept, I guess, as well.
Absolutely. I think it's so important. And again, depending on what your lifestyle's like, lots of people haven't got physically the time to invest in a rescue dog, but could have, 6 months to invest in a puppy, give it that time at the time and do the training and stuff. Fantastic. And it's so good now that there's so much kind of put on avoiding puppy farms and the information about good breeding. It's so good that is so kind of thought of and pushed. There are still dogs that unfortunately do come from puppy farms, but there are so fewer that kind of in that position. I think, like say, good breeding is fantastic. And there are so many kind of endangered breeds that are being brought back through it. I think that's awesome. We've got some Sussex Spaniels at Red Lodge that are fantastic and beautiful, and they're about the only two that I've ever met. Yeah, but they're awesome.
It is always really special to see like a rare breed.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love it when you come upstairs and you're Jordan, you have to see this dog. And it's like, I'll stand by your dog, don't worry. And you go down. Oh my god, this is amazing.
We had a hound in that was from, I can't remember where it is, I think it was a French. Picard?
Picard? I think it was a Picard.
He was big and he
amazing.
had like this wire hair that was kind of curly.
Double back dew claws,
Yeah.
which is quite cool.
Oh yeah.
They live till like 25, 30
As standard.
as a standard.
Because the breed has been so messed with.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And the guy was saying like the dog's basically it's used to counting herds and noticing if something's off kilter or one's missing. So it will, when he's like walking down in Cornwall, walking past all the boats, if a boat has moved slots, the dog stops and goes, "What the fuck? Something's not right here." Yeah, and he's like, "I can't get the dog to leave until, you know, we've kind of set the world to rights again, and then we can continue."
Oh my god, that's
But it's
amazing.
Like, he said it's like he's got OCD, like about everything, and they just remember everything, and just nothing can change. But it was really nice to see that.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is lovely to see dogs that you don't usually. I mean, you see spaniels and cockapoos and Labradors are everywhere, and Frenchies and
Dachshunds. So many
Dachshunds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so it's so much fun seeing those unusual
It
breeds.
is,
And yeah, really nice.
What do you, when you've got the kennels and there's dogs staying, do you put 2 dogs from 2 different homes in the same kennel?
Oh no, everyone gets their own. So if they're from the same house, most of
Yeah.
those dogs will go in the kennel together. We do have some that come in that can't be in the same kennel together, so we'll put them as close as possible. That might be for a safety reason. So we've had some that maybe have had a fight at home over something. Most of the time, dogs in the same household will go in the same kennel, but we don't mix households, just for the risk of something potentially happening.
Yeah.
We're really lucky, we've got a really good camera system through all the kennels now. So all the dogs have their own little individual camera overnight, which is fantastic. But it's just kind of limiting the risk that there possibly is to them. Just in case.
Because some kennels do.
Yeah, slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
By slightly, I mean a lot terrifying.
There's not like there's a person patrolling all through the night, is there? Like, our kennels, Steph would go and check at 10 o'clock at night, and then that's it until 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you don't know. Like, literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
So it's really good things to do.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Fantastic.
We have had kind of a couple where dogs from the same household have maybe had a fight overnight. It has thankfully only happened like twice in the 4 years I've been there. But again, every owner that comes in does sign a waiver that says if something happens overnight, there aren't staff kind of monitoring the dogs 24/7. There are staff on site, but they won't necessarily hear everything all the time.
Yeah.
Are you happy for us to separate them if we do see something? So sometimes you get like a weird feeling before they go to bed. There have been times it's like, I'm just going to split them up into different kennels because I just don't trust it this evening.
Really?
Thankfully, again, doesn't happen very often. I've had it recently with kind of a couple of older dogs where one of them's been on new medication and it looks like they've been a bit funny about beds and things. We were like, okay, cool, just in case, we'll give you both nice comfy beds but separately. And then they were back together the next night and everything was fine. But you just get that weird feeling sometimes, don't you, with dogs?
Yeah.
Just,
Bit of a vibe.
yeah, definitely.
And I suppose especially like for some dogs being in such a new situation. Because I mean, you must have it with kennel guarding occasionally.
We do.
Or have had it. But I guess that can also apply if a dog, 2 dogs from the same family, if one starts kennel guarding and the other one moves and freaks them out, it just takes that for them to go, oh, don't like that, and tell you off.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like a little bit of food you haven't noticed. Potentially like a little bit of biscuits got under a blanket and you've not noticed it. There are so many things that potentially could go wrong. So we make sure, so all the dogs go in at like 5 o'clock ready for bedtime. So they have their dinner and stuff. It then means that they've got kind of 2 hours where they go out to toilet and things, but it means we've got 2 hours to make sure they're settled before everybody leaves, which I think has been really good as well. So rather than just like, in you go, 7 o'clock, we'll just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Actually making sure they are comfortable and settled has been really important, I think. In kind of,
So cute. I mean, they need a lot of sleep, so.
They're normally knackered, I'll be honest. By like 7 o'clock, they're like, yes, please, give us to bed now. We are done. Which is lovely. And the other thing that's really nice is having the cameras in the kennels. It means that we can like send owners little pictures as they go to bed. We've got a couple of bassets that come in quite often and they literally sleep like on top of each other. So their owners very often get a little like, look how cute your dogs are, which is really nice. And again, it's reassuring for the owners that they know their dog is calm and relaxed with us. It's been really something positive.
Do you do cats as well, or just dogs?
We don't. We just do dogs now. We do the occasional bird. We've got a little lovebird that comes to stay sometimes, so he chills out in reception, which is very cute. He likes to make his presence known. And a couple of parrots, but it's not very often we do kind of anything small. Those are kind of like the exceptions to the rule.
I feel like I might have driven past last week or something. Have you got big green gates and loads of flowers?
Oh no, we are tucked like way out the back of Bassett, so you have to kind of go through like a housing estate, then you have to go to like the back of a close, and then like through a farmer's field pretty much to get to us, which is great. We're like we're so hidden. I don't know where you went, but that sounds cute.
It was huge, and then I googled it and I was like, wow, and it had like this YouTube video like going through all the grounds and everything.
Oh, amazing.
I was like, it felt like America. I was like, wow,
and everywhere.
This is extensive.
That's really cool. I have to admit, we had a drone video done kind of last year, so both kennels have both got really good videos up on their websites. So if anyone wants to have a nose through, like they can literally go through like little drone videos.
I think it is really good because everyone wants to see where their dog's going and then what they're up to, and well, I would hope that most people do, because that means that they do care quite a lot about the dogs.
Yeah.
And things have changed so much in that dogs are so much more part of the family now than maybe they were 10 years ago. Being dog people, we probably felt like that all the time. But for most people, it's quite a big shift in who's getting dogs and what they're getting them for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, so it's been really interesting, the number of people that maybe have dogs instead of kids.
Yeah.
And actually, like, in some respects, maybe the dogs are a bit babied sometimes, but actually it's nice because we can give them that reassurance, you know, we love your dog as much as you do. Look at these 150 photos that we've posted today of all of your dogs, and here's a little update on how they've been. The end of every month, all of our members get a little update report and a photo sent to the email. Aww. So they can kind of see what their dog's been up to, what tricks they've been learning. And again, I think it's nice then getting that kind of personal interaction. I think it's been really important.
It's like nursery, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like sending the kids off to like school or nursery, like a little report card, how they've been doing, get a little cute photo. We've done Father's Day photos this month. Everyone's got a little Father's Day photo. We try and do like themes. So next month will be like proms. We've got proms coming up. Everyone's got like little tuxes or dresses. Some owners do roll their eyes. It's very much like some of them, they are dogs. Why are you dressing my dog up? Generally in good humour, but some of them adore it. Some of them think it's fantastic. I know one sticks it all up on her fridge. She prints out all the photos she gets sent and puts them on her fridge.
That's
adorable.
Cute. That's so sweet.
That's so cute.
I mean, they're not around forever, so you've got to make the most of it.
Yeah, 100%. You have to make the most of every moment you get with them.
Yeah. Do you have any, like, what's the funniest dog related story?
Oh, we have a few maybe bouncy dogs that tend to push people over, which doesn't sound funny in itself. We have one Collie Cross Lab who is wonderful. He comes up for a cuddle quite often. If you're not expecting it, he has pushed a few people into tyres. So we've got like literally like old tractor tyres. But he likes to do that and then sit on top of you. Oh my God. It's like, I've got you.
I'm imagining like the tyre and like bouncing off.
Yeah, thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
We've had a few end up in paddling pools. So like I remember at one point one of the handlers, a dog had stood behind her, I think completely innocently, and someone else had come up and barreled her over, so she literally flipped over the dog into the paddling pool. Which I think is on our Facebook page somewhere.
We'll have to link that later.
It's a good CCTV
yeah, there's some
moment,
amazing ones. I got knocked out the other week by not knocked out, but knocked over by dog. Went to move out of the way and it moved into the path I tried to move out of the way of and just got taken out. Literally looks like my top of my half doesn't move, the legs just get swiped underneath me. That's up there somewhere. Generally, it's just handlers trying not to get injured by the dogs, I suppose.
Yeah, they do run around when they're at like full pelt. It's dangerous, even the small ones.
Yeah, they're so speedy. They don't know where they're going. They're just having the best time, and it's awesome. We do have to explain to owners sometimes that they might come home with kind of injuries. We can tell you what's happened, but please be aware like your dog is particularly manic, and sometimes they might run into a fence. Has happened a few times. We had a pointer, bless him, cut his shoulder a couple of months ago. Just ran full pat into a fence. Not ideal. We try to avoid injuries, but sometimes they definitely happen.
Yeah, it just happens. Absolutely. That's so funny.
It's such good fun, and it varies so much every day. Like it's so much fun just playing with them. Who doesn't want to play with dogs all day? I mean, in this weather it's obviously much nicer because they're all tired by 2:00 and you can just cuddle them. Rain in the winter, not the best. Everybody, handlers and dogs, is covered in mud and wet by the end of the day.
But you kind of have to like let yourself go to that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much like owners will be like, oh, you've got a bit of a rubbish day today, haven't you? Or, oh, I'm so jealous of you in the sunshine. There's no in between. That's fine.
One or the other.
Yeah, gotta love the British weather. Sometimes unpredictable.
Absolutely.
So I'm intrigued. So you work at both places?
Yeah, so I work both at Red Lodge in Wootton and at Fern Farm in Chippenham as well.
So do you do split days? So you work at both on the same day? Or do you tend to do like one day here, one day there?
I try to do one day here, one day there. Sometimes there's a bit of like splitting in the middle, kind of depending on what's going on. It's quite nice. So I do quite a lot of kind of the trial sessions, both at Fern Farm and Red Lodge. So that's been quite nice, kind of going between the two of them. Generally we do one day a week at Chippenham because the guys over there have generally got stuff settled. It's a little bit quieter, but we try and mix up the day a little bit so we kind of see everybody coming through. Normally it's kind of 4 days a week at Red Lodge because it tends to be a little bit more going on there. So just kind of keep an eye on stuff generally. But it's quite a nice split. Fern Farm works slightly differently, so it tends to be dogs of different play styles might be out together a little bit more. It's just a little bit quieter, a little bit smaller kennels, but actually really well managed. Very much a case of, okay, are these dogs happy together? Fantastic, they'll all go out together. They've got a beautiful big paddock they can play in, or a nice big astro area to play in. But yeah, it's like slightly different setup, but seems to work really well. We're really lucky with them.
Is that more for boarding?
That just as daycare, so Chippenham just as daycare. Hence why it's a little bit less chaotic than Red Lodges sometimes. Tends to also just be member dogs normally, so dogs that come in on the same day each week. Which is really nice. They get really good friendships. That's one thing we've noticed is that kind of dogs literally come in the morning, or owners will be like, oh, is so-and-so in today? Oh my goodness, they're going to have the best little play. There's a group of like 3, like Nelly, Rufus and Alfie all like come in, and they're like, other owners will chat together in the morning or in the afternoon at pick up. Dogs love each other. It's so cute. Or they'll see like photos. We try to have photos up in our receptions. So owners will be like, oh, it's so-and-so, their little bestie. Like, oh, it is, yes.
It's literally like nursery preschool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you see like the dog's reaction like if they spot their best friend like across the field?
Oh my goodness.
Do you get to see their ears perk up and they're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
They're like,
Absolutely. Or like, one of them will come out of a kennel as you get in the group out, and it's very much like, oh my goodness, I've seen them, that's me done for the day. We've got the cutest pairing of a French pointer and a staffy who do our high energy group normally on a Monday, but they are the best of friends. It's very much like one can smell the other and they're ready to have that play, and it's so cute. They kind of came in as like puppies together and they've grown up together, and it's just, oh my goodness, it's the cutest, the best little friendship, and their parents are also friends now through that as well. It's
really
just
nice.
adorable.
It's actually just a really nice community, isn't it? Like you're literally just bringing dogs and then their owners together.
Yeah.
Like we always say about how hard it is to make friends when you're an adult.
Yeah.
And actually do it 3 dogs.
Just come through dogs,
Very
absolutely.
Do it 3 dogs.
Yeah.
We're
We're
really
really-
easy to talk about.
Yeah, always. We're really excited. So we've got our first summer fete is happening on Saturday this week. So again, it's really exciting because all the owners have been coming in like, oh, we're going to bring them this week. We've got a little dog show. They're gonna win most handsome dog. I'm so excited.
Oh my god. Are you doing the judging?
So I've been roped out of judging, thankfully. We've got like an ex-crafts judge is one of the judges. We've got some pet care people and stuff that are doing them. There's some nice little like stalls and stuff for like pet stuff and crafts and all sorts of fun things. There's little have a go agility. Like it's going to be small, but actually I think a really good fun day. There's also food and stuff, which is always a bonus for everybody.
Absolutely. Big bonus.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, is this what you saw yourself doing?
I'll be honest, I went through school and it was like, if you want to work with animals, you have to be a vet. And I did some work experience in vets and was like, I think this is really cool, but I don't think this is actually what I want to do forever and ever. And then I was working in an office and a friend went for a job at Bath Cats and Dogs, which is how I found out about it. Worked there for a long time, and then this job happened to come up kind of at Red Lodge, which is 10 minutes from home. It was very much like fell into everything. Still friends with a lot of the girls from Bath Cats and Dogs, and they will kind of, some are still working with dogs, some have gone into like different things. And I think it's been really nice community to kind of fall into lots of different things. I think it's been really cool. No, I never would have predicted working in doggy daycare. I don't think I even knew they were a thing when I was at school.
I don't think it must have been a thing when we were younger.
There was kennels, but that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has Red Lodge been a daycare?
Oh, there's a question. So I think Lucy bought the site. I want to say she was boarding and then kennels for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think daycare kind of like, 8 to 10 years I think it's been going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it feels new.
It does, yeah, absolutely. I think it's only kind of recently been kind of more public as well. For a long time it was like word of mouth for like local community, whereas now we're like, come and have a look at all of our cool stuff.
I think now it's not even a necessity.
No.
Like, it's not because people are going to the office.
No, there's very few owners that, that desperately need it. Most are like, oh, they'll love it. They're going in for a day. It's so much fun.
I'm doing it because I just want to give them the experience.
Or we get some that are like, actually, I need a day off from my puppy today. I'm going to put them into daycare. Get a few of those as well, which I totally understand.
That's where people do kids.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Dubai ones?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. Because they're all indoor, obviously, because it's really hot.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like soft play, these big like warehouses, like indoor swimming pools.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah. Like a holiday resort.
Honestly, it's insane.
That sounds
like, they're
incredible.
I'm going to Google that later.
Yeah,
God,
you should.
yeah.
You should have a look at it.
Oh, I shouldn't get ideas.
I know, all the like snuffly things on the wall, and like some of them are a bit basic, but some of them look very cool.
Oh my
The
god,
little sensory
amazing.
rooms and everything, decompress, put them in for a massage.
Yeah. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just because they can't do much outside.
No, imagine the aircon. That must be so nice for the dogs.
Yeah.
It's like cool.
Well, I don't think you really allow them like off lead or anything out and about.
No, they're really strict in Dubai about a lot of things, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, as couples, you can't show each other affection.
No, you
Is it in
can't.
Dubai? I swear someone said in Dubai you can't kiss.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of rumours, like.
Like just follow into the TikTok room.
Well,
I'm glad you said it because I thought the same.
when we went, which is like 2019 now, everyone was like, you have to pretend you're married. They literally don't care. It's quite Western.
It
now,
looks quite
but it is
Western.
still, you know, predominantly a Muslim country. So dogs on lead, because everywhere's quite clean space, and usually in the Muslim culture, dogs aren't seen as clean animals. So it's like not the norm to have them.
Yeah.
I guess it might be becoming more normal, but yeah, you just can't have them off lead. They have to be on lead all the time.
On lead, well behaved.
Yeah. You probably have to get
Still
up
not
at like
married.
4 a.m. to be able to walk them, because otherwise it gets like 35 degrees and it's too hot.
Jeez.
But no, you can show affection.
Well, I'll probably.
Well, actually, I don't know what the laws are if you're not straight.
I'd probably be beheaded.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not because it's Dubai, but
Not because
quite often.
I don't think you'd be beheaded.
No.
But I saw my auntie the other day, and she said one of her friends wasn't allowed in the country because he's gay.
Because there's like Qatar, Seychelles. I don't think we can go to Seychelles.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Certain parts of India. Yeah, there's quite a few places. I think certain places in Africa we have to be really careful. I mean,
It will
same
be
in the United States as well, isn't it?
Muslim
Yeah.
places, like countries, that will be more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's other places to go.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah, there's loads of places.
Sorry, I want to go there anyway.
Oh no.
It's so hot.
I feel like Dubai should be okay though, because it's pretty Western now.
Yeah. I guess it just depends, doesn't it? Like how outward you are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, even in the UK, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's happened before, we're holding hands and someone shouts something, or, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
So pathetic though, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Hannah's really feisty.
Yeah, I
like, let's go this way, Han, come on. She's like, no, I want to fight. And I'm like, no.
And now you're just dragging her away whilst holding her hand.
No, let's go.
Saving the person.
You don't even know what you've unleashed.
Yeah, I'll let go if you want. Like.
It's a good threat. It's a good threat.
It's probably for the best.
Oh my god. Amazing.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, the different things. Yeah, you have to think about.
Yeah. There's quite a lot. I mean, there's a lot of information on Google. To be honest, we usually just Google. If we want to visit a different country, you just Google, is this place safe? And then there's a really good LGBTQI plus website that like gives you the index, and it'll be like, avoid these places, avoid this, go here, that's totally cool. It's quite a good tool to have, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad that it's needed though. Like.
It is.
Yeah.
It is sad, but I don't know.
Cultures are different.
Cultures are different.
Like, it's not always with malice. It's just a complete misunderstanding of what those things mean.
Yeah.
Because we're lucky in that we're brought up in quite an pretty open society, actually. But there's a lot of places that aren't. Like, they won't even learn about those things, or have never seen it before, or so yeah.
Yeah, and
it's so difficult.
I guess the blessing is that I'm not living in one of those countries.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that are way worse off. Like, I live in Tetbury. I'm pretty safe.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess the dogs are happy too.
Yeah, the dogs don't mind either. You know, that's what I love about dogs. Dogs aren't homophobic.
They could not care less. It's wonderful.
No. God bless dogs.
But you do notice a difference. So when we were in Indonesia for a while, we were on Bali, which is Hindu, and then the rest of Indonesia is Muslim, and you really notice like the difference in the way animals are treated when you leave Bali. So in Hindu culture, most animals are sacred. So there's lots of like leaving offerings out, which means like straights can eat the offerings, or just a lot of care goes into nature. And obviously pets come under that. When you go into outside, so other areas of Indonesia, it's just not the same. And you don't actually see as many strays because especially the dogs probably hide more. They're a lot more nervous. They don't get fed as much. Just a bit unhappier. Yeah. And you definitely, you see such a difference. Mm-hmm. And they know it's there, but you know, that's just a different culture.
Is there a big difference like in the culture itself, like when you cross over to different areas? Does it just have like a different air about it, or?
Not really. Things look a bit different. I quite like Hindu culture. Like, I like all the temples. Everything's quite pretty. People tend to be super happy because it's quite relaxed.
Yeah.
Open, chatty. Yeah. It's really lovely.
Hindu. Like, just everything colourful.
Colour. Yeah. I mean, it's very Indian, Buddhist. They're just, super open, like floral offerings, lots of incense. It smells really good. But to be honest, I've always found Muslim cultures really friendly. Like when we went to Qatar, they were some of the friendliest people. Yeah.
Where haven't you guys been?
Just for 24 hours. But we walked around the souks and they're so friendly. Yeah. I think in Morocco and Marrakesh it was a bit more difficult. Yeah. Because men were just a bit more starey.
It's quite touristy as well in those areas, isn't it? So you have to watch out for like...
Yeah, like they know you're a tourist. I mean, you look like one. You're white and you're going, oh my god, this is really intense. Like walking around the souks. And they prey on you because of that, but also you don't see many women out and about. So then that can feel a bit uncomfortable. But I felt uncomfortable in the south of France. Yeah. For the same reasons.
It's so true, isn't it? I mean, I went to school with there were a couple of kids who were Muslim, and they were like the nicest kids I've ever met, and like they were so respectful. Like they were great. They turned out to be some of my best friends through school. Like, and there was never any question of, oh, who are you? What do you do? All of this. There was none of that. Like, I just felt quite safe around them. They're just nice to talk to.
And I mean, the Middle East is really, really safe.
Yeah.
But there are extreme views. And views that maybe we don't sit well with, that they still might.
Yeah, I guess it's the same here, isn't it? I mean, like, according to Ofsted, the biggest threat to society are middle-aged white men. That's what we're always taught at school.
Yeah, I know.
And it's so true, because with all due respect to them, men in vans, terrifying. Yeah.
I used to get beeped so much, like, in my school uniform, walking to and from school.
Oh, God, yeah.
Did you guys ever?
Or, like, people, like, working on scaffolding and would, like, make comments and stuff. Yeah. Terrifying.
In my school uniform, you creep.
Yeah. It's just a kid.
Just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, there's always the odd rumour about the odd teacher at school.
Well,
I don't know if you guys had that too. Yeah.
Definitely. Or just like, I remember berating a teacher once because I was walking, and I was antagonistic, granted, very antagonistic, and I would like wear really short skirts.
Do you like pull them up more on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the new maths block, which was like brand new built, but it had gaps in the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
That's bad planning. Like, you can grab your ankles, like...
That's where you go.
That was such an innocent comment then.
I know.
Horror movies.
I had to go at him because I was like, he was like, your skirt is too short, and I was like, how do you know?
I mean, to be fair...
I'm like, why are you looking?
Yeah.
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 Call them
That's
out.
fair comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just gets awkward. Like, so
Stare
I'll
at
just
him.
leave now, and it'll be fine then.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fair comment.
We do have the power in that sense.
Yeah, it's quite nice sometimes, isn't it? Yeah.
Sometimes.
If in doubt, makes them feel really uncomfortable, and
Yeah.
all power to you.
Yeah. Yeah, jeez.
We got really offbeat there.
Yeah.
But do have a look at those Dubai daycares.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really, really cool. I think we're lucky here in that the weather's mostly stays the same, so dogs can go out and play. And I think what I would miss a lot is, because Alice was like, oh, I'd love to move to Dubai, which I really don't want to do, just because I loved walking out the door with my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
Being
able to have
able
a lead.
burning or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it'd be so different to go, oh, Rose, we're going to the desert today.
She'd be so
Yeah.
excited.
The trees and the water and like...
Also, by the way, it's 4 a.m. and this is the only time I can
Yeah.
walk you.
It's ridiculous. Do you have any, when you get dogs coming in, odd requests?
Ooh. Don't have too many odd requests. Do have lots of dogs that we pamper a little bit more than we probably should. So we have lots of dogs that like they won't eat with us unless they're hand fed, or their dinner is warmed up to a certain degree, or have to have a little bit of cream cheese, or they won't eat with us.
Yeah.
There's very many that we've made a rod for our own back where we've maybe done it once and the dog's like, well, last time I didn't eat it and I got sardines on it, so I've worked it out now. Which I think generally owners are like, oh my god, that's hilarious. Like, I love that you do that.
Do you find that the owners have done that as well?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes it's they never an issue at home. Which, again, I quite enjoy. It's a case of, kennels is so different to where their like comforts are at home. Actually, can we do something to make them happy? Fantastic, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You get some dogs that like eating out of the metal bowls, some that like slow feeders, some that like to eat off the floor. Again, if that's what they want to do when they're eating, then we'll let them do it, that's fine. We do. We get some funny ones. We don't. To be fair, we don't get too many weird owner requests. We have a couple of dogs that have to be tucked in at bedtime because that's what they get at home. Yeah, literally. We have one that literally like you have to hold the blanket so he can get underneath it in his bed, do a circle thing, and they like to be tucked over.
What breed is he?
He's a Vizsla. He doesn't come in very often anymore. It's very sad, but yes, he used to get a little bedtime picture.
That's adorable.
No, we will do, yeah, all sorts of things. Some they have a little snuggle before bedtime because the owner would do it, and so you feel like you have to give them a little snuggle at bedtime.
It must take you ages to do bedtime.
Sometimes you literally like put them away after toilet, so like by the time you brought everybody in, they're asleep. In which case you're like, okay, fine, like, I'll just leave you be. Some where you're like, okay, you get a little biscuit under the door. Some nights everyone gets a little bedtime biscuit. We try and make it as comfy as we can for them, but yeah, it's not a quick process.
No. You can just waste a lot of time with dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So much time.
Yeah, that's your job.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Make them happy.
Yeah. We have a few dogs we have one dog who in the morning she comes and sits on reception on the desk, and she likes to greet all the clients by flopping her head over the desk for attention. Everyone knows popcorn. Literally gets a little head scratch from everybody. She gets little mini zoomies when the handlers come in. It's very cute. She's adorable. Her parents love the fact that she sits on reception and greets everybody. She does go out and be a dog. We get very excited when she runs around outside. It doesn't happen very often. We try and get little videos for her owners to prove that she has done something as a dog today. But it's kind of like building up that like relationship and those little like in-jokes with people. I think clients really enjoy a little in-joke about their dog.
Definitely.
And it's really cute.
I think it just shows that you've made a connection, which is probably the most meaningful thing to them.
Yeah.
That somebody else loves their dog.
Yeah.
For the same reasons or a similar reason to them. Like that's what you're looking for, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're taking them somewhere like this. And to make friends with other dogs, but mostly to hear that your dog's great from someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so important. It's something we make really clear to owners. It's so important that they trust us. Like, you're handing your baby over to essentially a stranger to look after them. You have to know that we're okay. And you get that, actually you get that vibe from people. You go some places and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this. And hopefully they come into us and they go, oh my God, these people are awesome. Like I say, they want to shout and scream about how wonderful my dog is. They're having the best time. They want to show me all these photos and things, little videos, them having zoomies. Like, we want to share that with you. It's awesome.
Yeah. What's your favourite breed?
Oh, that is a great question. Anything big. German Shepherd is probably my absolute favourite.
Yeah.
I've had a few German Shepherds. I love a Collie because they're cheeky. I love a Spaniel. Take a Spaniel.
Spaniels are really cute.
Spaniels are funny.
Yeah.
The little squinty eyes they do at you.
Oh.
Like, when they're so excited to see you and they just squint and they always smile and oh God, it's so cute.
It's almost like also when they're really fluffy and they need a haircut. Like a little woolly mammoth is what we like to call them. It's just, they're so fluffy, you just want to squish them.
Yeah,
the
so
cute.
And the little surfer hair.
One of our handlers did that the other day. She had little like man buns for all the spaniels she had in group.
Outstanding.
I'm just like, yes, that's what we want to see. Things like this. It's man bun season. Fantastic. All the silly things. Yeah.
Have you got any breeds that when they come in you instantly go, oh, don't know if that'll work?
We struggle with staffies. So we have a few staffies that work fantastically. Most of them have been with us since they were puppies. But it just tends to be a breed we struggle with. Partly they seem to get a bit overwhelmed with like the group play, but also they're terrible in kennels normally because they want to be with people the whole time. So we tend to find they kind of struggle. We'll always give it a go. So it's a big thing for us is that as long as your dog hasn't got bite history, we will give it a go. That's fine. German Shepherds can sometimes struggle as well. Again, just where dogs are like running around a lot, tend to get a bit overstimulated, a bit like, oh my God, I must herd everything. Can cause some issues sometimes. Collies are one that surprises me because I thought they'd be similar, but actually generally do really well. So that's always been really interesting. I wouldn't say there are any breeds that we go, no, can't do that. Actually, it's been really nice like seeing kind of how different they are. We get some bull breeds who maybe struggle to keep up with everybody, bull breeds and Frenchies. Very much, I'm trying to keep up with everyone, but the lolloping is not happening, and so we'll take it easy with them. Breathing is hard, so they might maybe have shorter sessions or like be forced to go into low energy for a little bit for a lie down, and then they'll come back and play again. But no, it's really nice that we don't kind of say no, we can't have any breeds. It's been really nice to kind of bring it in.
Nice, because that is probably something people comment on a lot. Like when we talk to them, they are always worried. Like, can their bull breed go to daycare? Because some daycares don't allow it.
Yeah.
Or can they go to kennels? Or there's so many other factors, isn't it, to having different breeds that's sometimes stereotyped as bad.
Yeah.
When it really isn't the breed. Like, it's just sometimes situations are bad.
Do you need to have different insurance?
So we can't have banned breeds is the only thing we can't have. But other than that, no, everyone gets lumped under our normal insurance. Which is nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Otherwise I don't see why they would.
I think it's preference. So we're really lucky. We've got an on-site behaviourist, so she works like 2 or 3 days a week with us. We're really lucky because we can put like extra work and time into some like integrating some of the dogs sometimes. I guess a lot of people, if they haven't got as much experience in either in certain breeds or certain behaviours and kind of integrating that, I guess it can be more difficult, and they choose to just take the easy dogs as such. For a little while, I've heard of kind of places that just like, no, I'll take labs, collies and cockapoos. Okay, fine. Like, that's your choice. Okay. I love that we get so much variety. We've got a beautiful Polish Lowland sheepdog who don't see very many of those. Again, awesome. And some people are like, no, you can't have sheepdogs. They just want to herd all the time. I mean, he couldn't care less, and he's awesome. But you could rule out those awesome dogs. It'd be so sad.
It's good for other dogs to see different breeds as well, because especially like bull breeds, Roby had a bad experience when we were walking on a high street, in that this lady had these two massive, they were like bull mastiffy kind of, and she just had no control over them at all, and they're just dragging her, and they both went for Roby, and she ran off. And now if another bull breed is coming towards her, she's a bit like, what do I do? Like, I'm a bit. So it's quite good, I think, in that sense, because they do look different, and they can categorise them into, oh no, I don't like those anymore. But they can then work on that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things we give like a big questionnaire for anyone that kind of applies for us, and things like that. You know, have you noticed any issues with kind of particular breeds or black dogs? We have lots of dogs that don't like black dogs because they can't see their facial features. Okay, is that something we can help you work on? We have lots of dogs also that are like reactive on lead but come into daycare and are okay because they're off lead, have no problems. Can we kind of help you work on that again outside and kind of benefit you? You do kind of get the two extremes. So either we are beneficial and the dog's like, oh, I get to go to daycare and run around with dogs, I'm alright, I don't need to bother. And then you get the ones where I sometimes get to play off lead with dogs, therefore everybody must be my friend now. It's definitely a conversation we have about to owners, is a case of we can't guarantee that what we teach will help you, but we'll try our best. Yeah, your dog might get a bit excited about dogs now. I'm really sorry.
But that's for owners, you know, to be watching out for those like changes of behaviours, and that, I guess, is something which maybe people will miss because maybe they don't read about it that much.
Yeah.
Like, I often think, you know, and I'll say to Jordan quite a lot, is that don't forget, this is like every day.
Yeah.
And we see all these things all the time, and when we go home, it's all over our phone. And when we're learning, it's what we're learning about. But for a lot of people, this isn't there every day. They don't even know the basics, but they have a dog. So it's not dumbing it down.
It's just making it simple, isn't it? It's just
making sure they know those bottom bits so that you can keep going on the rungs. And maybe people don't even watch the dog's behaviour. Maybe they are just walking them for 30 minutes because that's what they're meant to do. And
Or you talk about things and they're like, oh, they growl at these dogs. And I'm like, oh, no, I've seen them growl and they actually happy growl. Like, they want to interact with them. And like I say, you can do so much teaching for, okay, now we'll talk about body language and all the things that we get to see. Again, it's great for us because we have such a variety of dogs and behaviours. But actually, they might have only ever seen their dog do anything. And, oh my God, how do you read that? What does it mean? So really interesting. But you say we see everything from, I've had dogs my entire life, like, they're just a dog, to this is my first ever dog and I know nothing. I'm bringing them in for help. Cool. Okay, what can we do? How can we support you and support your dog at the same time? It
is so much to learn, isn't it?
I don't think you ever stop either, do you? Like, the number of times I'm like, oh my God, this makes so much sense and I've never thought about that until today. Really
and
cool.
different dogs need different things as well.
Yeah, like we always say, don't we, about how when you look into like why these dogs were bred, how much it plays into their characteristics now, even if they haven't been used for that purpose for like 10 lines. Like it's amazing how much you need to pay attention to that sometimes to figure out why your dog's doing certain things. Like, why is my corgi always nipping at my ankles? It's because that's what they were meant to do. Like, it is inherent in them sometimes.
Like, are you meeting those kind of basic breed traits? No, okay, in that case that's probably why your dog's being a bit cheeky, because they're really bored.
It needs some extra stimulation. Or some more sleep. Oh my goodness, yes, the conversation about sleep. Why do dogs go away during the day? Because they are overtired otherwise. That's why they bite you when they get home, because all the mouthing, all the bruises, just put them to sleep. They just need a bedtime.
It's a big thing for puppies, isn't it? Because we get it a lot where people will be like, I've just taken my puppy on a 2-hour walk so they behave for you. And part of me's like, I'm glad they're exercising. The other part of me's like, oh no. I've now got a really overtired, overstimulated, overwhelmed, over everything puppy that you have to try and keep still on a table for an hour, and you're like, great, I don't know if this will work.
The thought was great. I appreciate the effort you put in.
I know, we need to do like a briefing before puppies come in.
Yes. Yeah, it is so much easier to have your pups like awake and alert instead of overtired and overbitey.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they get to the stage where everything is edible. Your fingers, your scissors, your combs, your brushes, the dryer, the bath, the table, the neck strap. And you're just sort of there like,
Great.
how am I going to do this? Do I just put you to bed?
Yeah, it's so tempting,
What's
isn't
going
it?
on?
And we have to be careful. So we've got kind of groomers attached to us. So again, it's kind of like, okay, let's not overdo it in the morning with the dog for them to then go to groomers, like say, super tired.
Yeah.
Okay, grouchy. Or we do the opposite where we get them covered in mud first thing, then we have to hose them off before we send them to the groomers. Have had that conversation a few times. But it's getting that balance sometimes, isn't it? Between like something that is tired enough to cope with the situation, but not overtired and grouchy.
Yeah.
Because nobody needs that.
No.
Do you get any daycarers that come in 5 days a week?
We've got one that comes in 5 days a week, one that comes in 4 days a week.
Yeah.
So 5 day week, she's been coming since she was little. She gets on with it. She's very good at self-resting, so it's very much like if she's had enough for the day, cool, she's going to take herself off. We kind of like integrate her into some of the quieter groups sometimes. She still loves chasing the ball. She will keep up with the best of them, but she's quite good at regulating herself. 4 day week, he sometimes needs a little bit more input into resting. A little spaniel, so he can get a little bit chaotic sometimes. But again, we kind of like have learnt how to manage him. So he's been coming for, I can't think how old he is now, about 4 years. So again, it's just kind of like helping him to manage himself. But yeah, we tend to be kind of most of like 1 or 2 days, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, that's really good because they do need like a day to recover, don't they? At least just to sleep, crash out, decompress.
Yeah.
Let everything go. Because even though they're having so much fun, like, it's like us, isn't it? You go out for a day and have loads of fun. You need the next day to just down tools, chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get your regulation back.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite nice for owners because you kind of get that explanation of you tend to get your daycare day where they're kind of nice and tired in the evening, and then an extra day of peace the next day where they just want some chill walks, not overdoing too much because, like I say, they just don't need it. Getting the balance with owners is sometimes tricky, but we get there.
They think they're like super athletes, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, they'll just go all day, they'll be fine. Well, I don't think they actually need that.
No. If you want it to actually fit in with your lifestyle as well, like set those expectations quite early.
Yeah.
Do you have an age limit on daycare?
Or like upper age?
Yeah.
No, I'll take anyone.
Any age. Do you find that the older ones, like I've had some people come in, their dogs are arthritic now, but still go to daycare. Would that, that bouncing around, that stimulation affect joints in the long term?
Very much depends on the dog. So we tend to kind of get them to the quieter stage as they age. Tends to be they kind of naturally are, like say, slowing down on things. So most of our older dogs tend to be in like our low energy where they'll like mooch around, have some sniffs, have some cuddles. They're not kind of running around with the young uns too much.
Yeah.
Some of them need like 20 minutes of running around like a madman and then the quiet time. But it's kind of like that kind of individual dog. A lot of our older ones tend to be more boarders rather than daycare. We do have a few older daycare dogs that come in kind of a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
One of them's a beautiful kind of 11-year-old Wymie who they've just got a puppy sibling for, and they're really nice. He's kind of got used to the puppy now. The puppy's about 8 months old, so they're really good friends now. It's really nice. But yeah, he comes in for kind of like some cuddles and a little bit of a wander around, but not overdoing it too much. We split them up in the day, so puppy gets to go and terrorise everybody and burn off some steam, whereas his bro gets the like kind of chill, not overdoing it too much, the comfy bed, his joints are all supported, and it's very much like tailoring it to what they're ready for at that point. We've got some beautiful Dalmatians that come in, so they are 13 and 14.
Oh, wow.
So they come in and board sometimes. So again, they might have like shorter sessions a little bit more often, so they're not kind of stood up for an hour and a half, which is probably quite natural for them at that point. So maybe we'll do like half an hour, they'll get some like individual kennel cuddles, and then they'll go out for a little bit longer and then have a bit more rest. So kind of very much, depending what they're able to do.
Yeah, it sounds an amazing setup.
We are so lucky. We're so lucky with what kind of space we've got. The handlers that we've got such a range of kind of abilities and backgrounds of people. I say it's really nice having our behaviourist. Mala's fantastic, so she also runs her own consulting, kind of behaviour consultant business as well. But it's nice because there's so many ideas that come into kind of looking at it. One of our handlers is also a hydrotherapist, so again we get quite a lot of kind of like physio advice from her. Can we look at how we can support this dog? It's so kind of useful having everybody.
Yeah.
Do you... I actually lost my train of thought because of your text.
I'm really sorry, perhaps that was Abby.
And then you screenshotted it.
As we try and silence.
Panic.
Sorry.
I literally have so many screenshots on my new phone of just like my wallpaper.
Yeah.
Let me try to remember my question.
Hydro, physio.
I know. Behaviourist. Yeah, what I was going to ask was, so you started there 4 years ago. Have you made those changes, or is it something that you kind of decided as a big group, or is it something that your boss wanted to implement?
I suppose things have kind of naturally progressed, and things have. It's not quite as busy as it was when I first started. So I started straight after COVID. Everybody had a dog. Things have kind of quietened down a little bit now, so we have a bit more time to kind of give the dogs and stuff. I took over as manager just over a year ago, so some of these have been kind of put in place for quite a while. We changed our setup slightly a year ago, so we used to have like dogs that didn't socialise very much, so like maybe had like one-on-one play or didn't really socialise with dogs. We found that they weren't getting enough time from us, but also it meant that we had a handler that then wasn't able to help like our group dogs. The biggest issue was that they weren't getting enough kind of stimulation or enough time out. So, but just over a year ago, we unfortunately kind of handed them over to other kennels and other places so that we could focus more on our group dogs, which actually has been really beneficial because essentially it's freed up an entire handler to do the extra things. So the dogs need a little bit more rest, a little bit more one-on-one time, kind of the extra, can we find you a comfy bed? Can we look at kind of looking at bringing puppies in and stuff. That's been really beneficial. That kind of started just before I took over, but it's been something that's been in the works for a long time. I think it's been really nice. It's kind of a big collaboration between everybody, where I've got kind of the rescue background, looking like enrichment and things like that. That's been nice to kind of bring in a little bit more of. I think it's been a big collaboration through kind of lots of people. We also like the fact that like handlers will come up with ideas sometimes. Obviously they spend all of their day with these particular dogs. They come in and they go, I think this one might really benefit from that. Fantastic, can we make that work? And that's really nice, and I think that feels good for them then as well, that they make a difference to that dog. That's kind of really important. I suppose it's not kind of one individual person as such, but it's nice to work together for it.
Everyone's making that change. It's really nice. And do you feel like it is a big change, or is it like gradual?
Probably lots of gradual changes actually. Sometimes we find that you implement something and it doesn't work necessarily, so you like change things, adapt things. It might be that we scrap something, try something else. Generally things are kind of a bit more gradual. We try not to like jump in too quickly to anything. You tend to get a few crazy ideas and it's like working out to compromise them down sometimes. It tends to be like lots of gradual changes.
Sounds a nice place to work.
It's really nice. It's really good. We've got a nice team. We've got a team of about 19 people kind of across the two kennels. Feels like a lot of people. So that varies from kind of, we've got a few full-timers, some senior handlers, we've got some junior handlers, so they're kind of like, most of them are ex-work experience, kind of working them up through skills and things while they're at college. So some only do like 4 hours a week, some are doing kind of up to 40 hours a week. It's kind of big variance between everybody. We've got some that work across both kennels. So it's like you were saying earlier about like working across them. We've got 3 handlers that do 1 day a week in Chippenham and work the rest of the time at kind of Wootton Bassett at Red Lodge. So actually it's quite a nice like balance for everybody. I think that's been really good. Getting everyone to work together is nice.
There's lots of variety. Every day's different. You never know what you're going
to walk into. Some dog will throw a spanner in the works, no matter how well your planned is. A bit like you were saying earlier about like, I hope the day is nice tomorrow, because you just don't really know what it's going to end up being.
No, you don't, do you? You just can't predict it.
No, you think, I've got all the easy dogs today. Someone will spice it up for you.
Someone's walked their dog for 7 hours.
Or they've just woken up on the wrong side of bed today. Yeah, I don't think owners always believe us that happens sometimes though. We're like, today is just, it's just not their day. They're just having an off day, and they worry about it. I think it's like, no, this is normal. This is just like humans. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. Really? Absolutely fine. We'll move things around. Yeah, good fun.
Read the signs.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them are very clear, where they're like, no, I'm just not in the mood. Okay, fine. We'll believe you. That's fine.
What do you think the future holds, like in 5 years' time, for what you're doing with kennels, daycare?
That's a really good question. I think we're making lots of positive change, like you say, like gradual positive changes. So integrating more kind of enrichment, enforcing a bit more like downtime rather than the throw everybody out in a field and have them run around. That's been a really good change kind of up till now. I think there'll be a bit more of that in the next few years. I think the introduction of things like more social media, more like tools, and being more open about the business. I think there'll be even more of that kind of more improved communication between like the business and clients. I think the kind of the changes we made have been really positive, but actually we can still do more. I think that would be really good. It'd be interesting to see how dogs change. Kind of the behaviour of dogs has been really interesting to see, again, kind of like during COVID and post-COVID. We do have more dogs now that have like kind of behaviour struggles, so a bit like your reactivity, maybe handling issues, a bit of separation. It'd be really interesting to see how that changes in the next 5 years. Now people are like going back to the office a bit more and those kind of things. Are we going to see more of those problems, or actually are we going to see less of them while things get back to kind of what was normal before?
What do you think causes most of those problems? If you can kind of put one finger onto something.
I think a lot of it is maybe uneducated owners. So a lot of people like first-time owners. We all have to start from somewhere. But I think a lot of the time it's kind of people that maybe haven't had a dog before, or grew up with a family dog that was maybe a lot easier than kind of their current dog, and maybe haven't put enough planning and preparation into whoever they're welcoming into their home, and making sure they pick a dog that fits their life as well. I think lots of people don't do enough research before they commit to whatever, like rescue, puppy, whatever it might be. I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is like a not understanding enough.
A lack of knowledge, and then maybe a giving up, maybe? Oh, well, this isn't going to work, so we're not going to work on it.
Yeah. We've been really lucky in that we haven't had too many dogs that kind of have left us to be rehomed. Which has been really nice. You get the odd couple for different circumstances. We haven't seen too much of that though, which has been really nice. A lot of the time people kind of want to work with things, which has been really good, and I hope that kind of continues. I suppose it's kind of encouraging people to educate themselves more, but I suppose hopefully there will be less kind of people that will just get a dog for the sake of having a dog. They actually kind of invest in this creature that they're taking on. I'm really hoping that kind of gets better again. Yeah,
I hope so too. Would you be in favour of bringing back licensing?
Oh yes.
For owners and breeders?
Yes, 100%. Breeders for definite. I do think owners should also be licensed as well. I think even if you can show that you've done your research into having a dog, even if you haven't done it into this specific dog and you're doing that research now, absolutely, I think everybody should have more responsibility about the dog they're taking on. Yeah,
like some sort of standardised training, something, whether it's a little bit in dog first aid, looking into breeds, suitability, training.
Yeah, absolutely. Mandatory puppy classes, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic to do. And I think both people and dogs would benefit from that. I can't see anybody losing out in that scenario.
Yeah.
Because if you want a dog that desperately, you need to put the work into the dog anyway. So why not have that background knowledge to set you up ready to go?
One thing people always say is that if that was to happen, it's like a cost thing.
They do. It always comes down to cost, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that then someone's losing out because they can't afford it.
Yeah. But you have the other thing in your mind, don't you? If you can't afford the training, I mean, dogs aren't cheap. You've got insurance, you've got food, you've got everything else. Beds, collars, leads.
Medication.
Grooming.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. Even if, you have like a smooth coated Jack Russell,
Yeah.
their nails are still going to need doing, and
Mhm.
probably cost you about 30 quid. Usually quite naughty.
Also fun. Muscle training and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking, so Bungle with his anxieties on fluoxetine and Nutricalm and other supplements and things. So we spend about £450 a month on just his general maintenance, food, medications and things. Like,
he's a well-loved dog.
He's a well-loved dog. But like, you know, you have to go in like, actually, can I potentially afford all of these issues that might come down the line?
Yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you don't really want to take it away from people that maybe need that company, but also how do you get that balance right? So it's difficult, isn't it?
Then maybe they should be fostering or maybe looking after dogs which are a bit older that don't necessarily want to get picked from a rescue.
Yeah, or dog sitting, things like that. You know, there's so many kind of smaller companies now that maybe need a bit more regulating, but actually kind of, can you get licensed as a dog sitter? Actually, that would be fantastic. You'd be benefiting everybody at that point.
I mean, those companies should definitely... I used to do house sitting for trusted house sitters, and they should definitely have like a 5-hour video that you have to watch before you go, like at the very least before going. Like we went to look after 2 house cats in Singapore, so they live in a flat and they stay in the house, so like it's relatively easy, you know, but the owners expect you to play with them, don't leave them for 12 hours because that's not nice, and you know, there's just basic things, but ultimately they're house cats, so it's quite easy, they do their own thing. They don't really want you around, and
they couldn't care less.
But there is like a basic thing when you're asking someone to come and look after your pets that you'd hope they would do. And they said they've had so many instances where they've got back and like the litter's not been changed, or you know, they've seen on cameras that they've just not been there.
Yeah, we've had it with one of our customers here.
Really?
They used trusted house sitters when they went away. They were away for about a month. They've got a Ring doorbell, and bless them, they really struggle with one of their dog's weight, and they sort of got in control of it. They got back, and she was about twice the size, and they realised they were hardly being taken out once a day, let alone every couple of days, and feed, like given all the little tidbits. I mean, this was probably about a year ago now, and they're still struggling to get the weight off her.
Yeah, I mean, it is
you trust people, don't you? I mean, they're in your house with your private belongings, which is a big factor for a lot of people. But also they're with your family members, which are your little dogs, cats, lizards, anything else.
Yeah.
So there should be, you're right, some sort of intro video or
like
some sort of course.
A lot of people are nice, but you can have these scenarios where, or maybe it's just even if they didn't grow up with dogs and they don't or have never had their own, but they're happy to, you know, look after someone else's, they don't know what to do. Yeah, and they can't read signals, and you know, like it's really often now that Love Dog's resource guard, or you know, even if it's dropping a chip on the floor or a tissue, like there are a lot of dogs, if you went down to get a tissue, if you're in dog's proximity, they would go for you because that's their area. And if you don't pick up on those signs or know enough about it, you're putting yourself in danger. Yeah. But you're also putting the dog in a compromising position. Yeah, which no one wants. Yeah, there definitely should be. I didn't have to do anything. I had to pay £80 a year. No DBS check, nothing. That does seem mad, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Like you'd first have to send a letter, and most of them would be like, okay, we want some kind of like background, like a delving into like what you do in your life, and then you would meet them on FaceTime or Skype or whatever to have a chat, but that's it really.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I'd be so worried about Riley. I'd be like anxious level 10. I'd probably have to leave like a notepad full of notes on him. You might have like a spy camera and like a teddy or something. Yeah, see, that really freaks me out. I used to do house sitting, and that would always freak me out. I'd always feel like you have to sit perfectly. Like, like put everything back. I could be on camera. Never chill out. Don't look in that box. That mirror's double-sided. Oh god.
Oh god. I would never thought about that. I've got cameras set up in the house for Bungle, but I've never thought about that.
Have you?
Just so I can keep an eye on. So he tends to stay at home while we're at work. So it's just like, just keep an eye on how he's doing. But I never thought about the fact that if someone came around to check on him, it looks like I'm spying on him. Oh, that's not the aim. But
you'd be fairly normal about it. I mean, I'm going to call out my sister and her boyfriend. So they have 2 cats, and recently my dad's gone around to feed the cats, and Dad's been, in his own world, so the cat's out, and you can hear their voice, and he's like, what's going on? Where's that voice coming from?
No.
And it's Zoe and Lewis talking to him through the camera. And Dad said, I was quite lucky because I was trying to find the food. And they're like, yeah, it's just in that drawer. But they get notifications, you're straight there. And that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no offence, Zoe, I would unplug your camera. I don't want to be
straight
watched.
up to it.
Yeah.
Oh
Watch this. Oh, you can't. And
Yeah.
unplug it.
Yeah, I would. Or you do something really annoying, like hide something of theirs. And be like,
So do
"Look,
they
find
get
it."
a notification then if someone
Yeah.
walks in?
Yeah.
Or are they just always watching?
Oh, she's a bit weird.
Oh. Like, mine gives me a notification. Sometimes I like to just check how he's doing, but mine gives me a notification.
Does it? For movement?
Yeah, so rather than just like stalking him all day, so you can do like little drop-in check-ins, but yeah, it's like, oh, he's gone upstairs this time, he's in the bedroom, or he's downstairs.
Oh, that's
It's very cute.
I feel
Yeah.
like I get obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little like dog TV, yeah.
Mm.
I try not to talk to him on it because I feel like he'd just be like, oh my god, where is my mum?
Yeah,
She's somewhere in the
where is
house,
she?
I'm so confused. So I try not to, it's very tempting sometimes. Just
Yeah.
was like all caught up, just be like, oh my god, you're so cute.
Oh. Is he quite affectionate with you guys, like cuddly or?
Yeah, it took us about kind of 2.5 years to get to
wow.
that stage, but now he's like the biggest baby. Like he wants to be like curled up between you when you're on the sofa. He sleeps on the floor in the bedroom, not on any of the comfy beds, of course, but like on the floor. But like if one of you gets up early, he'll jump on the bed and take their spot.
So,
Or if you have like a little lion, he's like very much like, oh yeah, I'll come and snuggle you for a little bit, that's fine. But it's been really nice like seeing how he's like changed. Like he wags a lot now.
yeah.
That was only about a year, 18 months ago, we really saw him start wagging. So like when you get home, it's like goes mad now and he jumps up and sees you. And it's been, it's taken so long to get these things out. But now, yes, he's a little baby man and he's very
love
cute.
that one. That's perfect.
He's adorable.
So, because you say he's really nervous, and Scott says he's quite nervous of men, is it?
Yeah,
In particular?
so men particularly, he struggles with everybody, to be fair.
Yeah.
So we have a few kind of dog walking friends that I knew from Bath, so they met him when I was in kennels. He kind of remembers them, which is really nice. But he's very much like, you're okay, but it'll take him like half an hour to kind of come over and like sniff them and to kind of check them out. As far as kind of like meeting new people, he's very much like, I'm gonna like bark at you because I want the space.
Yeah.
His option, so if you're like off lead in a paddock or something and something happens, his option is to run away, always. But obviously on lead, it's very much like, I'm gonna bark at you because I just want you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
There are very few people that he trusts, and generally his immediate reaction is like panic. Oh no, wait, no, you're okay, and I do remember you. So that we walk like muzzled and stuff. I don't think he would bite anybody, but it's very much just in case someone gets too close while he's barking or something like that, or someone goes, oh no, it's okay, I love you, and goes to pat him on the head.
Yeah.
There are people like that. So we tend to want
like
muzzled.
that.
So many people are like, oh, I love dogs, they love me, this one does not, please leave him alone.
We'll be saying that in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really nice the other week. We went for a walk at like Breen Down, like on the beach, and there was like loads of school kids, which is like not the ideal day to walk your reactive dog. He did really well. He was obviously like, there are small people I don't really understand.
Yeah.
So he gives them a wide berth. But it was nice because lots of them were like, oh, he's got this thing on his face. Oh, he's like leaving us alone. Okay, we'll just leave him be. And it was really nice to see that like that's kind of already happening with them. I really like want this generation to keep learning those skills because that's awesome. Maybe we want to teach them the older generation similar skills, but it's good that it's coming through for the young ones. He can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, bless him.
It has to be said, like kids do tend to be really respectful of asking, can I touch your dog? Is it okay to say hello? We always found when Riley was a puppy, because we try not to get him to jump up at people. This worked very well. But it was always the middle-aged person. Go, oh no, don't worry, he's a puppy. Like, he's gonna be really big one day. Do worry. Or they just come over. You're like shopping. They just come straight over and you've been pulled, and you're like, what's going on?
Met the old lady in town that carries biscuits around with her.
I have a feeling I might have married a charity shop and she beelined for him.
Yeah.
Oh, can you have a biscuit? And I'm like, I got biscuits in my pocket, no problem.
She asked Roby she's like, oh, what tricks does she do? And I was like, oh, she does a paw, and I was like, this is a risk.
Yeah.
She's like she's not frail, but she's not like steady.
Yeah.
She was like, got this biscuit out. I was like, oh, paw. And Ruby gave her a paw, and then she didn't give her a biscuit, and then she's like, paw, and Ruby's like grabbing her arm, like dragging her down. I'm like, oh god. She's like, oh, she's a bit strong. Like,
She's got a good grip on her, really.
yeah, just no.
Just give her the biscuit.
Just chuck the biscuit at her. Just leave.
It's like his best intentions, but I'd just rather you didn't. Thanks.
Very sweet, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think people have this big flaw that they think everything is for them.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like, we just think, oh, well, I can get around it, or, oh, it'll be different because it's me.
Yeah.
It's just a big issue. But yeah, kids learning is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And we should try harder, because some kids don't grow up with pets at home.
No.
Which I think is really sad, because you're losing such a big connection that you can have with animals, but then also you might grow up a bit scared or nervous, and sometimes those energies mismatch, and then
it can be quite triggering, even for the friendliest dog. I mean, Riley's big, and the other day I was walking him out, and we're going past a kid, and Riley loves kids. He's used to my 2 nieces, but it's always a worry that he's going to go to, oh my god, hi, and like knock them over. And this girl, like, her reaction, like, he was on lead, he was in control, I promise, not just, off you go, maniac. Her reaction was to huddle everything up into herself, back away and scream, but obviously as soon as anyone makes a high-pitched sound, every dog's going to be like, oh my god, you're a toy? This is great. And straight away he turned around, looked at her, was like, play, and I was like, no, please come away. But it can be small stuff like that, which seems to a kid, or even to an adult, it's happened with adults where they've like sort of made squeaky sounds, it's like, oh, he's a big dog, and you're a bit like, you are just drawing more attention to yourself now. If you just ignore him and walk away, he will not care, but you've like raised your energy, you're making a squeaky sound, you're making a big deal out of something, which I get, they can be a serious fear for people. I'm not saying, don't react like that, but just having that education or knowledge to be able to put yourself in a position where you can comfortably go, no, actually, if I just don't give them eye contact, I'm going to turn my body away, I'm not going to make a sound, I'm just going to calmly walk away. You then put yourself in control of a situation that's not going to get heightened, and the dog's not going to be put in a situation where they are more likely, to react to something. Yeah.
I think it's going back to that education thing, isn't it? Like you say, like if everybody was educated to that basic degree, I think everybody would have a better time with it all, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Do you find that with apprentices, if you are having people come in, sometimes they can be more nervous of bigger dogs, or
it's something kind of, we set them up before they come in, so they all get like an email from me when they first apply that's like, this is what we do, it can be a lot, just a heads up, and then they'll come in and do like an hour, kind of, we'll do a tour where we've got group running, because you get a feel for like, this is normal, this is a lot, this is kind of what you'll be kind of thrown into with other handlers. You never put in an unsafe position, but it is a lot to deal with, and I'd say probably 80% are like, oh my god, yes, I want to be involved in this, which is awesome. But you do get those few that are like, that's maybe more than I thought we were just kind of coming in, chilling on sofas and snuggling dogs all day. It's like, cool, that's why we do this before you commit to wanting to do this for the next year or so.
There's a lot more to it.
The theory, lovely, would be great, but it is a bit more work than that.
You guys must see a lot of dog poo.
Oh my god, so much dog poo.
Jeez, I was just thinking about how many poo bags do you go through a day?
Well, so we use like the big like horse like muck scoops. But we probably fill like 3 or 4 of those a day. We are lucky in that we have a septic tank, which is the best job in the world, isn't it? Just like emptying poo into a septic tank.
That on a summer's day and trying not to get hit by the splashback.
Delicious. There is a knack to it.
Or not dropping anything down there by accident, or
You give that to the apprentices.
Well, so I try not to. They all have to do it at some point, but I'm like, this is not going to be your job every day, because that would be really mean.
That's fair. Is it like your punishment if the staff's done something to annoy you, like you're on poo duty today?
Oh my god, I haven't, but maybe I need to implement that.
I think it'd be effective.
Oh yeah.
If they listen.
Worse punishments after that,
Well, it was really good to learn more about kennel life, and I think there's a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, I think terribly I could just talk for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Just about work, if nothing else.
Yeah, we could all swap stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Crazy people.
Yeah, your kennels do sound like some of the best I've heard of though.
Mm.
Even with your daycare and all of that, like just the way it's run, it's very dog forward. You know, and you're really taking on how much sleep dogs need, which is something I've only really been learning about the last year, and something that I think I should have done differently with Riley when he was little. And I think you going out there educating people is great, you know, and I wish there were more daycares and kennels that were run like that, because it sounds very the dog comes first, as opposed to let's get loads of profit, how many dogs can we cram in here? Like, it's really refreshing to hear that it is all really starting to change.
What's your wait list like if someone wanted to?
To be fair, not too bad at the moment, actually. Tuesdays we're kind of pretty full at Red Lodge, but other than that, actually, we've got a little bit of space at the moment. Just we're kind of coming into the kind of summer holidays, we tend to see a little bit kind of drop in daycare anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if people are kind of interested, it's definitely worth popping an application through our websites.
Nice.
Yeah, really good.
Lovely.
Sweet.
Thanks for joining us, Charlie.
Oh, thanks
It's
for
really
having
nice
me.
to meet you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, thank you for coming. It's very nice to finally meet you.
Yes.
And now we have so much for our dogs.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll put them in together. Do you reckon if they went in together, they'd be put in the crazies?
No, I don't
Or-
know.
No.
Do you reckon?
Hey,
Rosie
right,
Blair would yeah, straight up.
I don't know what Rosie would do.
No.
It's also interesting when they're not with you, like when they're not with their owners, to see how they react,
Yeah.
because it's very different normally.
I might have to
So,
try
yeah.
it. I just want to see what he'd do.
You should, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think Rosie can go.
Did you not?
No. Because she's not had her injections.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it counts the licensing. It's
Yeah.
not even like our decision, is
Is
it?
it teaser testing? Do you
So we
count
don't at the
teaser testing?
moment. We're looking at kind of like if we can change it. At the moment we
Yeah.
don't, just because the dogs that we've got kind of that come
Yeah.
into us currently is something that I'd quite like to change at some point. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit more difficult to manage at the moment.
I think
Which
it
is a
affects
shame.
insurance too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
We'll
you
see.
can go for it in
Cool.
6 months. And then you need to get the teaser testing in.
Get her in now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
listening.